dusty corner treasure, porcelain green chipped with time. Little light from someone's attic, barely flickered, barely shined. Old wood stool with wobble in it, scars and stories in each line. Laid them on my workbench, thought you're gonna look fine.
This is an old stool that I bought at the Elkhorn Antique Flea Market in Wisconsin a couple years ago, but I really don't need a stool right now. This here is an old porcelain light that I picked up from Beyond Grandma's antique store in Chicago, but I really don't need a light like this right now. This here is a small tabletop that I made using some leftover epoxy resin. It's clearly the wrong colors, but I can make a green one. Are you catching my vision? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I can repaint this base, rewire the lamp, run it through the base, and then this will be an amazing, one-of-a-kind, never before seen, light up end table. Now that I need. Before I get too far into this project, I want to make sure that I can drill a hole through the base for the lamp cord. There's already a hole in the top that goes about halfway through, so I'm going to drill a 3/8 of an inch hole through the bottom and up the center until I get through to the other side. Now I'm through. That'll work perfectly.
Dust on the stool in the corner, porcelain shade in a cardboard box. Both of them passed by 1,000 times, both of them waiting to shine. I see a story in the scratches, I see a future in the cracks. Give me a moment and some patience, I'll bring the magic back. Watch it glow from the old days, little bit of rust, little bit of grace. Turn the worn out into wonder in your place. Yeah, this is my favorite kind of art, making something new from every broken part. Screws on the table like silver, marking the spots with a pencil line. Run the cord through the hollow leg, flip that switch and it comes alive. I see a story in the scratches, I see a future in the cracks. Give me a moment and some patience, I'll bring the magic back.
I sanded all the paint off of this. It was a lot of work. There was 2 coats of paint, orange and tan. I was going to repaint it green, but then I thought it actually looks pretty good. What if I stained it? So I took some dark walnut stain and I tested it out on this leg here, and it actually looks pretty good. I put it on extremely heavy, as you can see. So it's going to take a couple days to dry, but I'm thinking that's the way to go. I bought this 2-part epoxy on Amazon for about 40 bucks. It makes a gallon of product, which is more than I need for this, but I'll find a use for the rest of it. I'm doing this on a flat surface and cleaning the mold with some isopropyl alcohol. I calculated the amount in ounces of the epoxy that I'm going to need by asking ChatGPT based on the diameter of my mold and the 5/8 inch thick depth that I want this to be. I start out by mixing a small amount, then I add more incrementally. I'm mixing this one in a smaller container, which is going to be used for my green pour pattern. The heat gun removes the bubbles that form, so I'll do this for the first 15 minutes or so, periodically as I see the bubbles rise to the surface. Now, even though I'm making a swirly pattern, it's not going to stay like this. In my experience, the colors get drawn to the center, and this will decide what pattern it wants to be. It's always a surprise. The next day, this is how it turned out. Totally different than it looked yesterday. It's a very symmetrical pattern, and I'm pleased with how this came out. When it comes to epoxy, I can do everything correctly, but it never comes out perfect. There's only one way to get a perfect finish. That's to sand it and to polish it. Neither side of this is perfect, but this is the side that was facing up, which I really want to use because I like the colors better, but it has a lot of problems. The edges are very sharp. As it sticks to the mold, it kind of gets this little lip, and it's very sharp. It needs to be sanded off. About a ½ inch in, it starts to slope downward. Also, in between the colors, each color, it slightly dips downward. So this thing is nowhere near perfect, and I need to sand it smooth like a piece of glass. And to do that, I'm going to use my orbital sander with varying grits of sandpaper from 80 to 10,000, and then I'm going to polish it. The other thing I need to do so it fits inside here, I need to sand down the edge a little, but not straight. It needs to be on a little bit of an angle because this is sloped. After that, I think this is going to fit perfectly inside. At least that's what I hope. I got a lot of work to do, so let's get to it. Sanding is boring. I want to zip through each grit, but I should slow down. I'm working my way through all the grits up to 10,000. I should be taking more time with each successive grit, but I am too impatient. When you see this at the end, it's going to look extremely smooth and flat. However, it's going to have this slight haze rather than being perfectly crystal clear. If I did spend more time sanding with the finer grits, I can get this thing to look like a piece of glass. But in this case, I can afford to be a little impatient. When I light this table up, I don't want it to be too bright. In fact, I want the light to shine, but I want it also to be a little bit obscured. It's not a spotlight. I sanded all the way using 10,000 grit. Now I'm going to polish this with some compound and these buffing pads. I bought these from an estate sale, but they're also available on Amazon. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to remove the light base so I could rewire it. You simply press down and turn counterclockwise. There's a spring under pressure on the inside. Rewiring the light is a snap. The only trick is to be sure that the hot wire goes from the smaller plug on the end to the wire on the center or the gold color screw on the light. The wider prong goes to the silver screw or the ground. In order to keep the wire from being yanked out and causing a short, I'm using a cable tie to secure the lamp wire to the spring on the inside of the base. This is going to act as a strain relief. On the bottom where the wire comes out, I'm going to add this rubber plug. I found it in my stash of spare parts. This will give it a nice finished look. Now, just like on most of my wood products, I'll apply 2 or 3 coats of a polyurethane. Then this thing is going to be ready to display.